Hi there, I'm Nancy Nash with Starfish Strength, and today I want to give you an upper body workout that will deliver maximum results in minimal time. So for equipment today, I'll want a pair of dumbbells, and if you have a heavy pair and a light pair, even better. You'll also want a stability ball that's well inflated. And if you don't have a stability ball, you can make use of an exercise bench or do these exercises on the floor. We'll also want to have a sturdy chair handy. You'll also want an exercise mat and enough room to make a snow angel in all directions because we're going to be moving. And don't forget to have your water handy too. So we're going to start off with bicep curls. So I'm going to use my lighter dumbbells for this. You can always get heavier as you get stronger. I want to line up so that my ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders are stacked. Draw my belly in. Keep my elbows towards the front of my rib cage as I curl up, and then control that eccentric motion all the way back to straight arms. Now, some people get really short with bicep curls. We're going to take these through that whole range of motion so that we are training the entire front part of your arm and your shoulder to get stronger. Now, a couple compensations that I see in this, people tend to round their shoulders forward, so really try to pull your shoulders back and then try to keep from rocking back and forth. That drawing in of the belly, slightly squeezing the glutes, and pushing into the feet even is going to give me that core stability that I want. So I'm training not only the biceps, but the core muscles too. So try one or two more with a really good range of motion. Moving on, we're going to do a dumbbell chest press, and we're either going to do that in a bridge on your stability ball, or you can lay down on your back on the floor. So if I'm doing this in a bridge position, I'm going to take one dumbbell in each hand, sit down on my stability ball, and walk myself forward until I've got my shoulders, my neck, and my head all supported. So I want to make sure that my feet are lined up evenly right underneath my knees, my belly's drawn in, and my glutes are squeezed in the bridge. And then I'm going to press the weights together over my chest and bring them apart with the elbows wide outside the rib cage. So make sure that the dumbbells stay by the sides of your chest so that we're training the chest muscles, we're training the biceps, we're training the back and the shoulders and the serratus, all of those supporting muscles to get stronger. Now, I also want to make sure that as I draw the elbows out to the sides of my rib cage, my shoulders do not hike up. So the shoulders should pull down and together as the elbows come out to my sides. And then as I press the weights together over my chest, the shoulders will rise back up. So think about that range of motion that the shoulder blades are going through as well as your arms. If you're having trouble holding in that glute bridge position, you could slightly drop your hips, or you could come all the way onto your back on the floor and then place your feet right behind the hips. So I'm still going to draw the belly in as I push the weights together over the chest. I'm still going to go through that full range of motion in the shoulder blades. And I find that some people actually feel that range of motion in the shoulder blades better on the floor. So if you need to start that way and then progress to the bridge, no problem. You should feel the shoulder blades squeeze together in the back as you bring your elbows out to the sides of your chest. And then you should feel that area between the shoulder blades expand as you press the weights together over the chest. So try one or two more in that good range of motion. Nice work. So we're going to come back up and do what I call a rainbow shoulder press. So I want to stand, so I've got my joints stacked again, draw the belly in, squeeze the glutes, and I'm going to place the palms so they're face up as I bring the weights all the way together. I'm going to bring them down in front of my face, and then I'm going to use my abs and my arms to push straight up, and I want to control that lower on the way down with the pinkies facing the floor. This does feel a little like a dance move, so give yourself a couple reps to get the hang of it. So palms facing up on the way up, down in front of the face, and then drawing in the belly as I push straight up and pinkies face the floor on the way down. Now, I really want to make sure that I keep my shoulders stacked on top of my hips. I'm not leaning back to try to get this weight overhead. So if you feel yourself, compensating, you feel this in your lower back, let yourself push your butt out. That is so much better to push your butt out a little bit than get a stitch in your lower back or compress those vertebrae. So just do your very best with this. Guaranteed all of us have a dominant arm, so one of the arms is going to fatigue a little bit quicker. See if you can get one more really good rep out of this. Great job. All right, grab some water if you need to. So going back to my dumbbell bicep curls, I'm really going to focus on stacking the joints, drawing the abs in, keeping the elbows forward, and really concentrating on this range of motion. If you need to, you can always kind of turn your shoulders out a little bit. That is much better than turning them in and having shoulder ache later on. And then really focus on pushing into the feet, driving this motion with the abs and with the leg muscles. Now, my biceps should start burning at this point because we've already been working them quite a bit. Nice work. Try one or two more. See if you can get that full eccentric lower all the way down. All right. So let's go back to our dumbbell chest press. So if you're coming into that bridge position, make sure you get your ankles positioned right underneath the knees. You get the belly drawn in, the glutes squeezed. You get that bridge solid before you start your chest press. And then I'm going to focus on drawing the belly in as I press the weights together over the chest and rolling my shoulder blades back and down, pinching them as I bring the elbows wide outside the rib cage. So now hopefully you can start feeling that kind of underneath your armpits a little bit in that serratus and chest area. And if you don't feel it right now, you might feel it tomorrow. So keep focusing on that range of motion, keep pushing into the feet if you're in that bridge position. And even if you're not, if you're doing this on a bench or on the floor, pushing into the feet is going to give me some added power in this push. So even though we're talking about upper body, like this really is a whole body workout. We want to use the body functionally and be training the muscles every second of this workout. So see if you can do one more with really good range of motion, and then coming out of this, you can either walk your feet back or you could just drop the hips down. Do whichever works best for you. And we're going to go back to that rainbow shoulder press. So coming back into my standing position, stacking the joints, drawing the belly in, squeezing the glutes. I'm going to rainbow up with the palms face up, come down in front of the face, and then draw my belly in to push straight up. Pinkies face the floor on the way down. And I'm going to try my best to control that lower on the way down. That's the eccentric face, the lowering face. And I get just as much strength training in that eccentric lower as I do in the concentric push up. So think about that mindfully. And if I can make my concentric motion just a little bit quicker and my eccentric motion just a little bit slower, that's what's really ideal. So at this point, I should really be feeling this in the top of the shoulders. I should be feeling it underneath the shoulders, in the back. Probably you're feeling this on all sides of the deltoid muscle. This is one that's really good for toning the arms, as well as improving our range of motion in our overhead reach when we have to reach things high on a shelf. So see if you can get one more with a really good range of motion. Nice work. All right, so we're going to move on to the back side of the body. Grab some water if you need to, and grab one of your heavier dumbbells. So I'm going to use my sturdy chair for this. I'm actually going to line up. So I'm in front of my chair. I'm going to start by stacking the joints, drawing the belly in and hinging at the waist. I'm going to support myself with one of my hands and let the other one hang freely with the dumbbell off the side of the chair. So if you need to scoot yourself left or right to make this work, please do. And then I'm going to draw the belly in as I start pulling. So with a row, I want to make sure that I pull with the shoulder first. A lot of people start pulling and you see their shoulder round forward and they start having front of the shoulder pain. That's just because we have bad habits with pulling. So make sure that you kind of roll your shoulder down, you pull the elbow away from your ear, and you really get that maximal muscle training in the lats, in the traps, in the rhomboids, all of those muscles that support the shoulder blade. And if you can't feel that, go ahead and let yourself stand up and seriously just try it with your arm. Sometimes it's easier if you look in the mirror. You can kind of see that range of motion compromised. You can see your shoulder blade raise up, and then you can train yourself slowly to pull the shoulder blade down and really work your back. So try one more on the side, and then let yourself come up and shake out the hips. We're going to repeat this on the other side. So lining up the same way, stacking the joints. I'm going to draw the belly in, hinge at the waist. I can bend the knees as much as I need to make sure that lower back stays flat, and then I'm going to start my rows. So again, I want to really roll that shoulder blade back and down. I am giving myself some distance between the elbow and the rib cage, so it's not hugged super close, so that that shoulder really has room to move. There are a lot of muscles, right? People talk about the rotator cuff. Those are the internal muscles, but you have several layers of external muscle before you even get to the deltoids that we see. So we really want to train all of those muscles to work together to functionally pull. And we also want to make sure that your back gets involved, because I can move a lot more weight and I can feel a lot better and less fatigued moving more weight when I involve my back. So really make sure you can feel that roll of the shoulder back, and you will, I guarantee, eventually start feeling it in the middle of your back. Next, we're going to do a dumbbell pullover. So I'm just going to use one of my heavy weights, and I'm going to do this again in a bridge position on the stability ball, but feel free to do this on the floor if you're more comfortable that way. So I'm going to grab that weight between both of my hands. Make sure that each finger is doing a little bit of gripping. I'm going to walk out in my bridge position, get my ankles right underneath my knees, draw the belly in, squeeze the glutes, and lift the hips evenly. And then I'm going to draw the belly in as I keep the elbows in towards one another and reach overhead. Now, as I'm reaching overhead, I want to make sure that the elbows do not come wider than the shoulders. If that starts to happen, that tells you you've reached the end of your range of motion and you want to pull all the way down towards the belly. Now, if you're finding any pinching in the front of the shoulders, you may want to grip this differently. You could also turn the dumbbell so you grip the bell ends between your fingers. But I still need to make sure that my elbows stay narrower than my shoulders so that I'm protecting my elbows. We don't want to wind up with elbow pain later on. We're trying to train muscle, not stress out the joints. So drawing the belly in as I reach overhead. I should feel this in my abs. I should feel this in my back. You're going to feel this one a lot in your upper abs. You should also feel it in the triceps, in the back of the upper arm. You should feel it between the shoulder blades in the back. You should feel it in the middle of your back. We're really working a lot of muscles in this exercise. So try one more with a great range of motion, and then either let yourself walk backwards and come to a seated position or drop the hips down, whichever way makes you more comfortable. So our last exercise in this circuit is a rear fly. So I'm going to use my lighter dumbbells for this. I'm going to stand up so I've got the joints stacked, and I'm going to draw the belly in and hinge at the waist, and I'm going to hold in that position, that flat back position, as I fly the weights out to the side. I'm going to keep the arms relatively straight, so I've got just a micro bend in the elbow, and I'm aiming my pinkies up towards the ceiling so that we're really training the back side of the arm. So I should feel this mightily in my triceps. I should feel it in my rear delts. I should feel it between the shoulder blades. And again, just make sure you can really feel your shoulder blades pinching together. And if you feel a pinch in your lower back, just let yourself come up for a moment, recollect, draw the belly in, and hinge again. You can do less of a hinge than I'm doing, but you over time want to work into that range of motion so that you're really using gravity to help train your back muscles. Try one or two more with an excellent range of motion, and then go ahead and come on up. So grab some water if you need to, and we're going to go through those 3 exercises one more time. So leading off with my single arm dumbbell rows, I'm going to set my chair up. I'm going to draw my belly in, hinge from the waist with stacked joints, and then really focus on that range of motion, rolling the shoulder back. And really, to do this effectively, I only need to pull the elbow as far as my rib cage. Many of us can pull further, but I don't want to, again, do that at the cost of that shoulder rounding forward. So I want to make sure that the whole shoulder complex can move along with my elbow. So just kind of think about that and let yourself really focus on feeling that pinch together with the shoulder blades as you do this. So I'm drawing the belly in, pushing into the hand and the feet as I do that pull and roll the shoulder back. And then as I reach forward, I'm really doing that reach without dropping that shoulder. All right, give yourself 1 or 2 more, and then go ahead and come up, shake out the hips, and we're going to switch and do this on the other side. So setting up for our single arm dumbbell row on the second side, I'm going to stack my joints, draw the belly in, hinge at the waist, hold in that position supported by my hand, and really focus on that range of motion in the shoulder as I do my pull. Now you can also think about including the legs here. You can really push through the feet and the hand as you pull. And in fact, as this gets heavier, you're going to need your whole body to help out with this. So start thinking about using your legs in these arm exercises to really support the weight. All right, let yourself try 1 or 2 more, and then go ahead and come up, shake out the hips, and we're gonna move on. So coming into our second set of our dumbbell pullover, I'm going to demonstrate this on the floor for you. So I'm going to lay all the way down, place my feet behind my hips so they're just an even distance. I'm going to hold the dumbbell so it's right in front of my sternum, draw the belly in and reach overhead, keeping the elbows narrower than the shoulders, and then pull all the way down towards my belly. So it's really important for me to think about pushing my back into the floor here. And this guaranteed is also going to be easier for you to get proper form if you were struggling with it in that stability ball bridge version. So if you felt any weirdness in your shoulders doing it on the stability ball, definitely try it on the floor, master it there first. So even here, I can push into my feet a little bit as I reach overhead, and then I'm really going to use those upper abs as I do that pull over alongside the shoulders and the back. So see if you can kind of get everything in sync, drawing the belly in as you reach over, pushing the back into the floor, and then as you pull over, that's kind of like where I would do my exhale and release the muscles for a moment before you re-engage them and reach back over. So give yourself a couple more reps. Just do this in the best range of motion you can today. Remember, if you're diligent with this, you will notice that over time, you get a lot stronger in these exercises and you improve your mobility. So we're gonna come up one last time and do those dumbbell rear flies. So I wanna grab my lighter dumbbells, stack my joints, draw the belly in, hinge at the waist, and then I'm going to fly the arms out to the sides, thinking about pinching the shoulder blades together in the back. I'm going to just keep a micro bend in my elbows so I'm not, bending and straightening the arms, really focusing on that fly. And the reason for this is that this is a long lever exercise and sometimes we do have to reach for things awkwardly. So there are definitely functional reasons for this, aside from just toning the entire backside of your body and making you stronger. So try to make these as even as you can. Let's try 1 or 2 more really good reps. All right, nice job. You made it through this whole entire workout. If you don't feel the effects of it now, I guarantee you will tomorrow. Make sure you let yourself grab some more water and give yourself a pat on the back. Great job fitting in fitness today. Thanks so much for making time to exercise with me today. I hope you feel better set up going into everything else you have planned for this week. If you're looking for more workouts, exercises, healthy recipes, and other healthy living inspiration, please check out the rest of my YouTube channel. And if you need some one-on-one support putting together your exercise program and nutrition plan, please reach out to me in the link in the description. In the meantime, I look forward to continuing this journey with you, and I'll see you in the next video. So think about that range of motion that the shoulder blades are going through as well as the arms. Yeah. Are you done? Are you done? This is us throwing a tantrum. Everybody has to throw a tantrum now and then.